village is a project where the whole of Year 8 build a village in the school grounds, and then for a whole week, that's 5 days, they sleep in it, they live in it, they cook their own food, and they pursue activities that are offered to them during the day. They also govern themselves to a certain extent. The staff facilitate it and gradually withdraw as the students are able to take on more of the responsibility for what they're doing. The village really is an exercise in independent learning. It's really trying to penetrate into what independent learning is and how it's brought about. Well, one of the main aims is to develop a real community. It's not a simulated community, it's not some sort of simulated Saxon village, it's a real community. And it's separate from the rest of the school, and it becomes its own community. And when you do that, very interesting things start to happen. It was an idea I'd been thinking about for a long time. And when I came to King Alfred, it was both the right time, the right place, and there was an openness to doing the village. So I was very pleased that they had the confidence to try it out. The first huts were designed by the students. Each one was individual. They were built from willow woven round a framework and thatched with straw, and the framework of trees that were coppiced from Ruislip Woods. And that was difficult to do. It took a lot of effort to build these houses that were tied together in different ways. I had the idea that we could build this kind of kit, and so the students, the kids could assemble these huts, but it was open enough so that they could personalise the interior and personalise the area around their house. So there was room for design. It's living in your own creations. It's living in the consequences of your designing.
I've never really slept in something I've made personally myself, which is it's like really new, and like having to put it up from scratch. Well, not really, because you have cable ties. And putting the whole thing up, and you're like, I've slept in this. I've made something I'm sleeping in.
We are in the village, hut 7. Woo! We have our mattresses and our sleeping bags and our pillows, and we're all sleeping next to each other. And then we have 2 shelves up there where we put like all our cooking utensils and towels and things. We have a kind of dressing table over there with like tissues, and then we have fairy lights all around to light up at night, and we have bunting on the outside. That's only been an hour.
They've elected 2 leaders, a boy and a girl. They chair the meetings, and the children talk to them about issues that are happening at the time.
There was an issue that somebody told me about earlier, about people leaving food in other people's areas, and they're scared that it might attract animals or things.
After the meeting, we all need to have 5 minutes of really concentrated tidying up. Go round, just pick up everything, put it all in the bin.
And the activity will start.
They eventually voted me and Dora in to be the village leader. We have to lead the meetings, decide some things, look out for make sure everyone's okay. So yeah, it's good fun though.
I joined last year to school. I think the village helped me to become better friends with people, and after the village I felt a lot more accepted. My self-esteem's risen as well from being picked as the leader, from being picked at sports. I've never been picked first for sports before, and it's just made me so happy, and it's been great.
What we're saying in the village is that we want to work with a lighter touch. I think teachers can very easily slip into the normal way of interacting with children, especially over behaviour and controlling them and things like that. That doesn't mean we aren't going to challenge them when they step out of line in a major way. We will challenge them, but they understand that we're trying to step back. We're working with a much lighter touch. We want them to start to really take ownership for the community, but also to struggle with the problems themselves.
I think life without adults is a lot more freeing, and it allows me to try things for myself instead of my parents correcting me if I do something wrong.
Some of the kind of base activities, the key activities, are things like bushcraft, blacksmithing. There's a village blacksmith who's there all week. There's two actually. There are activities like drumming, which will involve most of the villagers probably.
The Village project is actually really unusual. The reward is in what you're doing. You can feel yourself becoming more confident in developing new techniques. It's not this kind of artificial or deferred reward that you get when you pass the exam at the end of the year or don't pass the exam.
You're kind of like called over to lower school where you're allowed to make a pizza. You're given certain like toppings and stuff. Make the pizza dough, you make it from scratch, and then I kind of added mushrooms, some olives, and then you come back here and you just put them in these fires. They get really heated up, and then it's perfect for like making pizzas.
Mine is the best. My God, the garlic is amazing.
Even though there are 5 activities at least on offer every morning and every afternoon, they actually don't have to do any of them. Some of them haven't done anything today. They've hung out. Maybe it's the first time they've had a chance to really do that with each other in this sort of setting. We're in school. It's a curriculum activity, the village. It's not a holiday. But they've had an opportunity to do nothing. And some of them are working very hard most of the time, and this is their one chance to hang out and chat. Ever since we've done the village, we've been, we always conduct some research. This time Cambridge University are doing some research here, and we're trying to work out what it is that the village does, what effect it has.
Yeah, I think probably one of the reasons not many people are doing things like this is because there is quite a fear of taking risks, and I actually think it's quite courageous for a school to do something like the Village Project, but it couldn't happen in a school that was scared that one of the students might hurt themselves in the forge, or scared that a week away from regular lessons would affect their GCSE results. So it needs an environment where the school has said we value students learning in a broader sense.
It's like experiential citizenship almost, the village. It's you're actually experiencing it, you're doing it, and the kind of learnings that happen are really very different.
I think living in community is really good because we call it a community, we call it the village, and I think it's a lot better than camp and things because it's a village and you've got huts and it's kind of like houses and different settlements, and you can walk to an area where there's food, which is a shop, there's an area where there's water, there's different houses, and that's it. Oh, can I go have my breakfast?
Of course you can. Thanks, Ellie.